Lesson 8.4 Part B. So now, how do we write congruency statements? Now, we've shown that these are congruent by doing angle, angle, side. So now, once we know they are congruent, we want to write a congruency statement. And it's very important how you write it because the corresponding parts must be matching. So if I say angle A and then angle B and C in that order for that triangle and describe it that way, and I say it's congruent to another triangle, I'm going to have to make sure the corresponding parts get put together. So A corresponds to C, so C must go first. And the other two are pretty obvious. B will be the same as B. Oops, I'm sorry, this should be D, pardon me. A, B, D. So we're talking about this triangle. Sorry about that. So corresponding parts must match. So A goes to C, B and B are the same, and D are the same. Again, this is a little bit more straightforward because they share B and D, but if they're two separate triangles, we have to be much more careful so that we have matching or corresponding parts get lined up right. Now once you've made this statement, it has a lot of weight because then you can say the corresponding parts are congruent also, or equal, as the corresponding parts of congruent triangles are equal, says. So that means that we can say angle A is equal to angle C. Now again, we have the picture, but if I just gave you this, you could come up with the same information. And again, this part's obvious. If there are two separate triangles, it would be more interesting, but angle B equals angle B, and angle D equals angle D. So all I'm doing is matching up A with C, B with B, and D with D. But you can also do sides. So therefore, side AB is equal to side CB. Very important to match up the angles as well. So A goes with C, and then B goes with B. And we can say BD is equal to BD, which again is obvious. And you can say AD or DA, it's up to you, as long as the angles match up, you'll be fine. So these are the 6 congruent parts of the congruent triangles. They are corresponding parts, and they are equal. Now I'm going to take a couple examples from your homework worksheet before I shut this off. And what they're asking for is that what corresponding parts must be congruent in order to prove they are congruent by angle, side, angle. Remember, you need an angle and a side and an angle in that order. And then you can use angle, side, angle. And then once you have it, you can write a triangle congruency statement. Alright, so what can we show, or how can we show that the triangles are congruent? Well, this is a complex looking shape, but you do have D here equal to B. You have this little angle C equal to this angle. So you have two angles that are taken care of. You need an including side. So that would be this one right here and that one. That's the side between the two congruent angles. That would allow you to use angle, side, angle. And if you do, you would have two triangles that are congruent. So again, there's many triangles, there's 3 triangles present, but we're focusing on, because of the information we got, this one and this one. So if I say the first one is CDE, it will be congruent to, be very careful now, what corresponds to C. In both triangles, C will be the same. But D corresponds to B. So put that next. And then E corresponds to A. So CDE and CBA would be the two triangles that would be congruent. Okay, so you're trying to use angle side angle. Then you have congruency statements. What are the corresponding angles and sides? So as we said before, we have angle D equal to angle P, angle E equal to angle Q, angle F equal to angle R, and those are the angles. Then you can do the sides. DE is equal to PQ, EF equal to QR, and then again DF or FD, your choice, as long as the angles match up. If I say FD, then I have to say RP. And those are the corresponding angles and sides for number 7. Alright, so this ends lesson 8.4 Part B. Good luck on the rest of your assignment.